Hey y'all, Vern Clausen, Canyon City, Colorado, the Gorge Reloader here. Today we're going to do some 7mm 08 for you. Building them for a friend of mine, Melody. Hope you're watching. We're going to do a recipe out of the Hornady book here. We're going to do the 175 grain right there. 175 grain soft point. We're going to use Varget, and we're going to use 38 grains of Varget. But first things first, we're going to, I've already annealed these, and we're going to trim a couple. Real simple. I've got my Lee Quick trim in there for my 7mm 08. I always mark my cases. And then we're going to take this little dull edge here, put it in the quick trim, run it up in there just like that. And then you put this in there, pull the trigger. Nice shiny edge there. We're looking for 2.025 for the trim length, and we're at 2.034 right there. So what we're going to do is there's a little ring right here. You can hear it click. When you're turning it, as you're looking away from the drill, as you're looking from the back of the drill, you're going to click 1, 2, 3. That should be right around 5 thousandths. So we're going to put that shell back in there. We're going to back it up there. Give it a little bit more. And we're going to check it again. Yeah, we moved 5 thousandths. So we're at 2.029. We're looking at for 2.025. So we're going to do 2 more little clicks here. Ideally, I'd like to be between 2.024 and 2.025 and a half. 2.023 and a half, 2.025 and a half, somewhere in that window. Just so that I'm real close to the spec. And I'm at 2.027 right now, so I'll do one more little click here. Put it in there. And the first one, and the setup bullet, everybody knows, are people that have been around loading for a while. The first shell you do is kind of your trial and error. It's the one that helps you set up your dies, and it helps you get things all dialed in so that then you can move along and get smooth with it, and go along and get all your different steps done quicker and more efficiently. 2.025. So that's what we're looking for right there. Now, you got your chamfer, which is the pointed end, and your deburring, that takes the burrs off. You're not trying to remove metal. You already got your trim down to where you wanted it. You're not trying to remove metal. You're just trying to get rid of that rough edge real quick. And then I use my flash hole deburrer. When you go on the inside of that bullet, when they're punching these pockets, they push it from the inside or from the outside to the inside. Well, then you got this little flower effect of stuff that got pushed inside. And then when you put your primer in here and you seat the bullet and all that, you got to shoot it. When you shoot it, that flame is going to go around that flower instead of just hitting the powder directly. It's going to have to go manipulate itself around that flower. So if you take that little flowering effect inside that bullet off of there, then that primer has the chance to hit that powder all at the same time, all concentric, so that that powder flashes down both sides of that case at the same time instead of maybe being deviated to one side of the case or the other. Excuse me. Instead of being deviated to one side of the case or the other. And it could make a really tiny, minuscule difference at 100 yards. But at 500 yards or 1,000 yards, it's going to make a bigger difference. So we'll just try to get these things as perfect as we can. After I get the annealing done and all of that, I like to maybe take a little bit of steel wool and just take that darkening off there just a little bit. Makes it look a little prettier. I kind of like the look of that darkening on there. And it helps me know that that's been annealed and it's ready to go. It's all dressed up and ready to go party. So we'll just put that all like that. Okay. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to put some powder in and primer, all that. Put the shell in there and get this trimmer out of here. Put it back in the case. I don't like to leave things out and leave them where they ain't supposed to be, because then you never can find them when you're looking for them. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put our primer arm in here. It just slips in here. We're gonna put a primer in it, and when we run this back down to run this back in here, you push up on it, it pushes that bullet down, and this little arm right here pops up and pushes that primer in there for you. Primer seated. Turn the scale on here. Tear it out. The pan on. Tear that out. We're going for 38 grains. Oh, too much. My very next investment to this is going to be a powder measurer, and I really don't care if it's a Frankford Arsenal, an IntelliDropper, or the RCBS brand, or if it's a Lee brand, or if it's a Lyman. I don't really care. I'd just like to have one. We're going to get our bullet seeder in here, and I've already got it set to push the bullet in there where you want it, but I'm gonna reset it so that we can do this from scratch. We're gonna put our case in the case holder there. Run this down until it touches the top of that case. Okay, and we're going to back it off a couple of turns. Lock this ring down. Make sure that bullet seeder is pulled back quite a ways. And when you pull that, when you back it off a couple of turns, you lock that ring down, it disables the crimping part of this die. Because this die will crimp and set the bullets at the same time, which is really convenient. If but a lot of sticklers like to do it step by step. They want to put all their primers in, and then they go back and then they put all the powder in, and then they go back and they do the bullets, and then they go back and then they crimp it. So they make it into 5 steps, 6 steps, whatever it is. Which is fine. And when I'm doing it and not filming, that's how I do it also. When I'm filming, I shorten things down a little bit, do 1 or 2 bullets at a time. So I'm switching things in and out all the time. Guarantee you, this desk does not look like this all the time. Usually if all I'm doing is the primers, then I've got my Lee primer machine, my little Lee bench prop primer set and ready to go, and that's all I do is punch primers in, and then I put that equipment away, and then I'll get my powder out and I get my scale out, or I might be using my powder dropper depending on what kind of bullets I'm doing. A lot of times if I'm doing pistol rounds or whatever, I'll use that powder dropper. I'm kind of wasting a little time here because you got to let your scale you want to let your scale calibrate. Okay, and I didn't do that the first time, so I'm dumping that powder, and I'm going to let that scale calibrate and make sure that it's right, and then that way I know that I've got the right powder in here. I don't want to go too heavy, too light. I want to go 38 grains straight up. And then that way, Melody, my friend Melody, will know that she got the benefit of me paying attention and doing everything exactly the same way every time. Every time. Little deviations, like I said, can cause your bullets to fly differently, or difference in your weight of your powder, the difference in the primers that you're using, whatever. It all makes a difference. However small a difference it is. But what we're looking for here is when we get that bullet started, is we're going to run it clear down. I'm going to stop right at the bottom of that cantilever. And then we're just going to do a little turn at a time and bring it down to that cantilever. And I'm just doing like a quarter of a turn at a time here until I get it down there where I want it. And get it close to where I want it, because we're looking for 2.2 or 2.80 on these bullets. And I'm actually going to go for 2.79 or 2.8.5 to 2.79, just because I know that she has a Smith & Wesson 7mm 08, and that's 2.816 right there. So, now we're going to be real close. Just a little tiny movement at a time. Ooh, a little bit more than that, right? 2 point. 2.794 and a half. So I was looking for 2.795 to 2.790 or 2.780. Sorry. Anyway, I'm getting this all screwed up here. Looking for 2.794. There were 2.794, and our book says 2.80. So I wanted to go half a thousandths to thousandths under, because I know she's got a Smith & Wesson rifle, and they have more shallow lands. So we're gonna stop right there, and we're gonna leave our die set where that's at. We're gonna take it out of here. Since we know that one's set, we know that one's ready to go. Eventually I'm gonna get me a bunch of these little Lee breech lock deals, and I'm gonna set them, and I'm gonna be able to just take the breech lock out. You do the whole thing. Pop it out. Pop it in, you're done. That's all there is to it. I'm going to put the crimp in there. Run that factory crimp on there. Smooth that edge out. Voila. Okay, so we've got the bullet seated. We've got her crimped and everything. I'm going to take my case gauge, and it should just fall in there and go click like that. You're looking for that to be flush there, and on the other end, I don't know if you'll be able to catch it or not, but just barely see the edge of that brass right there at the end of your case gauge. That's what we're looking for. So, conclusion, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope we learned a little something. If I skipped over something, or if I didn't say something, or if I did something that I shouldn't have done, or you think that maybe I should be doing more, leave me a comment. We'll talk about it. I guarantee you I will get back to everybody that leaves me a positive comment or a constructive comment. If you're being stupid with your comments, you got a filter on it. It'll block you. I won't even see it. We're going to just go ahead and keep on doing what we're doing here. If you like the the content, and you're liking the show, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and drop me a comment, and tell me maybe what you'd like me to do, or what you'd like to see next. We are going to drop out to the range today and go shoot a few of these and test them. I'll always test everything before I give anybody anything. So I'll make a few extras of these and go out and fire them through my rifle and make sure that they're flying accurate. And of course, her rifle might be different, and it may not like the 175 grain. But I really need to get out to the range with you, Melody, and and we'll shoot together, and we'll take a few different rounds out there, and we'll see what hits best for you and what's more accurate. But for now, this is what you asked for, and this is what you're getting. Anyway, y'all be safe out there. Be careful. Be good to one another, and be kind to one another, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.